Evening, morning, friends, wherever you may be, welcome to today's stream. I'm going to paint this bad boy. I'm just contemplating whether I should lift my camera up so that we can get a bit more of a view. Yes, it is morning for me, Amy. No, that should be fine. That should be fine. Alright, how are we all, friends? Having a good day, I hope. Had a good day, depending on where you are. Happy Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day for me today. Oh, I forgot to update my stream information. Stand by. Stream 14th of Feb. And today we're painting art, not Warhammers. Update. There we go. Ah, Rumble. How good. Ah, thanks, bud. Have a good night's sleep. So painting big boys like this, it's a bit different to how I approach things normally. Big bits of terrain and stuff. I do like to lay out some base coats. G'day, mate. Awesome. Morning, Badger. Drippins, your champion. This is 75mm. Yep. This is the model. G'day, Koala. 74. This is the model here. And here is a 75, or here is a little Nurgle Beastman for a scale reference. So, significantly bigger. But yeah, I was just going to say, with painting stuff of this scale, this size, I'll start with a few airbrush base coats to get us going. That won't be where we'll end, but that'll be the start. So I love painting rocks. Rocks is up there with skin tones and non-metallic metal as my favourite thing to paint. A lot of people think rocks are grey. People are idiots. In real life, rocks are very, 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 very rarely grey, and normally a variety of other colours. So we are going to start with a lot of, g'day Jose, we're going to start with a lot of interesting colours in the rocks. So the first the first things I need to consider is what colour is the environment, and in this case it's going to be a scene that's lit by the fire, so it's going to be somewhat dark, but I also want it to be a little bit unnatural looking. G'day X-Tab. This store is actually a Games Workshop scenery piece from, I don't know, a while back. It was called Chaos Realm Gate, I think. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Five I would get snakebite leather, volupus pink, Achillean green, yellow, Nasdreg yellow, I think it is, Nasdreg yellow. Yep. And probably a darker brown, or maybe shyish. No, go Gore Grunter fur. G'day, Jeffrey. Cleaning out the airbrush. So painting rocks and scenery, I like to start with a few airbrush base coats, then go in with some brush work, and then after that I like to go back in and do some airbrushing to unify and bring all the tones together. So that's the approach we're going to take here. We're going to call that a day for the moment with the airbrush. We're going to use some contrast paints now to bring some interesting tones into this colour. Pretty good night's sleep last night, wasn't too bad. Excited about painting this guy. Alright, 3 contrast paints coming up. Snakebite leather, shyish purple, Achillean green. Whip out one of the big brushes. Hey, Match Fixer. Hey. Yeah, taking the missus out for dinner tonight. She's very excited about it. We're going to a restaurant called Biblos. It's a Turkish restaurant, I think. Greek. Should be good. Don't know that one X-Tab. The only one I can think of is Demon Book by Black Sun, which had demons standing behind a chick with a book, but I'm pretty sure that's not the one you're talking about. So we want to try and consider a few things here. So obviously the model is got to be the focal point of this piece, and that's hard to do when you've got such an elaborate piece of scenery. So I'm going to try and keep the values of this quite low, dark towards the top of this thing, and then try and have, as it gets closer to Old Mate, we'll try and have a little bit more colour and vibrancy and high value. No, I don't know X-Tab, sorry. G'day, Sharkwald. Thank you for using the Deno appointed name of Denizens. When you say mixing contrast paints, do you mean mixing them like what I'm doing here on the model, or do you mean mixing them for use? That's me, pal. That is me all over. That is a bit short, actually, to be me. Cthulhu, it is 9:05 a.m. Perfect time to have a quick little painting sesh. There's probably two things I would suggest for either of those things is using a medium. So I'm using the Joe Sonia Magic Mix here. So that medium just extends the drying time a bit, gives you a little bit more time to play with them on the model and on the palette. But I do like to mix on the model. I think it creates some interesting tones that you don't get mixing on the palette. And you've got to be pretty aggressive with your use of water. If you don't use enough water, you'll have too much paint, and that'll cause streaks and issues. And it's okay for rocks, what we're doing here, but yeah, the medium's probably the key part. Yeah, Cthulhu, mates. One of the wonders of the internet is that we can chat even though we're at different times and different sides of the world. I very much enjoy being able to paint and have heaps of cool people come and hang out. some of my friends from Europe and friends from America. It's been very good. No, I don't use the contrast medium X-Tab, I use my own medium. The contrast medium, I'm sure, is exactly the same stuff. The difference is my Joe Sonia bottle cost me $12 and I get this much. Some amount, yeah, 250 millilitres, which is about, I don't know, for how, what even measurement do American people use for millilitres instead of millilitres? What do you actually use, friends? Quarts? Ounces? Ah! G'day, Alex. Alright, bit of hair dry, sorry friends. So how much more interesting is that looking than grey? Love a bit of purple. Let's do it. Alright, time for some brush work now. Again, we are going to continue to refine back and forth between brush and airbrush. This is just a building up volumes and contrast stage. I feel like this colour is light enough for what I want it to be. Yeah, we do want a darker tone for this evening scene, evening-ish to start off with. We're going to have this flamey stuff be lighting the model from behind. Eventually, when we get that far. So I can be pretty rough with my strokes because I'm going to be going back in with the airbrush and doing some homogenizing afterwards. So I'm not too concerned about the roughness at the moment. Oh, thanks Rifcan. What a champion you are. Amazing guy. Thanks, mate. And now I'm a fan of your work. What's the time where you are, mate? Oh, thanks, Big Nose. Badger. Oh yeah, no worries. 3 p.m. is good. I do normally stream of an evening, and it's about 10 hours from now, which means it'll be about 1 a.m. your time, so that's a good time for you to catch a stream. G'day, Miss Jana. Welcome. Yes, me too, Big Nose. Should be pretty cool in the end if we can paint it okay. So you may notice that there is actually still some contrast paint that's drying on this in certain sections. That's okay, because what we can do is we can actually pull the contrast paint around with this brush as we're painting on the model, and that will actually create more blending and more interesting tones. Might get a little bit of this going on. Don't make friends with salad, friends. You don't make friends with salad. Where's Orchid Light? Hello. It's called a long salad. Where are you? I added a thing on my stream. You can spend channel points on. Not a very good thing. It's the only thing I can think of. You get to make me sing Cotton Eye Joe. I can't see my favourite colour, friends. This is very upsetting. Have I hidden it away somewhere else? I even organised my paint so this wouldn't happen. I'm very upset by this. Alright, it's been too long. You missed the boat. You missed the boat, Orchid Light. I was going to use you, but now you get nothing. Now you can sit wherever you are. All your friends will think you're an idiot. That's what you get. Yeah, no, I've no idea what channel points are for actually. I asked Flick about them last night and he told me how to change them. But yeah, I don't think you get anything for them. Don't actually know. That's a good idea. What's some things I can give people to spend channel points? I was gonna do. It is my bay, but I'm done with it because I can't find the fucker. I'm gonna have to come up with some new ones. I was gonna do like you can get some critique on one of your models if you spend a certain amount of channel points, but I was like, I don't want to have that be gated behind channel points, making people watch. I'm happy to do that anytime, so I didn't do that. I think the whole point is you get to make me do something stupid, but Paint with my offhand for okay, that's a good one. G'day, Esther Sawagawi. G'day, Gallo Fire. Yeah, you definitely did, mate. It's morning for me. I had a good night's sleep, feeling refreshed. Excited to get stuck into this big brute of a piece. It's actually not that big compared to some of the other ones I've worked on, but it feels big. Paint with my left hand for three minutes. Fuck, I'm gonna try that right now. I've never even thought about doing that. Shit a brick. This is very difficult. I feel like an absolute goober. That's enough. Yeah, alright, so you want me to be quiet. The problem is every fucking few minutes I feel like I am being quiet. Because I just get focused in on what I'm doing. And I lose the fact that I'm supposed to be communicating with my friends that are watching and be interesting and engaging and charismatic. Fortunately, I'm only one of those three things. Oh, g'day, Cutthroat. How are you, Devon? That's good, mate. No, all's going well for me. Living the dream here in beautiful Australia. Getting to paint some cool models. So, as I was saying at the start of my stream, rocks are never grey. They are a multitude of colours. It is reflected by the environment as well as the colours of the surrounding dirts and what have you. So, nice. Yes, I've still got that guy. I still remember that guy. He's one of the coolest. I love that dude. He was all Necromunda. Made me feel like Necromunda when I was painting him. It's the best. So rocks, I find when you do lots of interesting colours in them, it just looks far more alive and vibrant. A banana. Is that actually flicking that banana? There is no way I am doing that, Paul. I would rather punch myself in the Jats crackers. Wow, I did not realise that. That makes that even more glorious. Hey, so out of, just so everyone knows, the colours that I'm doing here are actually not grey. I've used this greyish purple, it's called Cold Flesh. I've used this blue violet. I've used this glacier blue. And I've used some German yellow. So, even though it's coming out looking like grey tones, because of the other colours that are in there, it is feeling a lot more vibrant and alive. So it's still grey for rocks, still feels like rocks, there's just a lot more colour in it. So I've actually had quite a lot of experiences with my airbrush doing weird shit, and I think a lot of the time I've ascertained the airbrush doing weird shit comes down to a few things. One, you're not mixing your paints properly. Two, you're using paints that aren't really strong enough for an airbrush. Or three, other. The reason I say that in response to paint chipping is because when I used a thinner that wasn't very, very good, I had a lot of problems with my paint chipping. I actually had an issue where I'd do some airbrushing and then the paint would lift after I started touching it with a brush, which annoyed the fuck out of me. So, to answer your question, I would try a different thinner. I would try a different paint, and I would try a different consistency of the above two. You should always do your airbrush over a primer, and I'll say I don't use an airbrush primer. I prime with a can of Games Workshop Chaos Black Spray, which I still feel is the best spray I've ever used. So try mixing a few different consistencies and see if that improves your paint adherence. But yeah, ever since I've started priming with a can and using that mixture, I'll talk about my airbrush mixture in a second. I haven't had any paint chips, any paints lifting off at all. And I stick pretty much to the Vallejo, the Chimera and the Scale and the contrast paints for airbrushing. So the airbrush thinner that I use is a combination mixture of Vallejo Flow Improver, Vallejo airbrush thinner, and Vallejo water. I bought a container of water. I didn't really buy water, it's just from my tap. Yes, it's about 45% thinner, 45% water, 10% flow improver. And the reason I mixed that up, I talked about it a little bit. I found that when I used full thinner, I wasn't getting enough adherence. When I found that using water, I wasn't getting enough dilution, and when I used flow improver, I didn't feel like I was getting enough dilution either. So by mixing those three elements together, I get a nice mixture that flows through the brush. I get a nice smooth paint blend. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I mean, I do use varnish a lot through my painting, but I use the AK Interactive, and I find it's not very durable varnish. It's great for homogenizing the colours, but yeah, it's not a durable colour. G'day, Droopy. I sure can, mate. 45% Vallejo airbrush thinner, 45% water, just from my tap, and about 10% flow improver. I watched a video once from from a painting mob called Miniature Mentor by Javier Gonzalez. And he mixed up his own mixture as well, and he used all sorts of weird shit. He actually used airbrush cleaner to dilute his paints. So I feel like it's a thing you've got to try for yourself and find a mixture and a consistency that you like, because everyone airbrushes slightly differently. G'day, Der Stroman. Correct, yeah, and that's why the airbrush is such a great tool and it's so much fun to use, but there is an element of you genuinely have to practice and understand, because I'm sure that a different airbrush would have a different requirement for consistency. There's a lot of learnings when it comes to the airbrush that can only really come with trial and error, with practice and understanding how it all works. My paint now, is that what you're asking, Big Nose? Or are you talking about through the airbrush? Yeah, it depends. Like, because you can vary the dilution based on what you're trying to do. If I'm trying to do some thin sort of homogenizing glazes, which is what I'm going to do very soon, then I'll have it quite dilute. But if I'm trying to do a firm color, I'll still have it quite dilute. I think you probably one rule I like to prescribe to with the airbrush is you can always go several thin coats and correct the problem. It's much easier to go over something several times than try to take something off. If you don't, if you go too hard with the airbrush, that can be very difficult to recover. Probably depends on the cleaner as well, Topulus. Like, I'm sure some stuff would actually break down the paint and wouldn't work well, but hey Paul, hey Paul. Now this will obviously be a piece that has quite a firm viewing angle. Oh, g'day Tobes. What do you want a class for, mate? You don't fucking paint. I did have intention to run a class this year, but the class I'm going to run is probably going to be an advanced concepts and airbrushing class, because I've been talking about doing one like that for a while and haven't fronted up and done it. So I really need to do it. But my beginner class I feel pretty confident and comfortable at, but yeah, doing an advanced class doesn't necessarily feel like something I'm confident in, but that's okay. Give it a crack. So we'll see. You can always come over and hang out at my house, mate, and I can teach you how to paint here. Oh, thanks, Rummy Bears. That's a sweet name, Rummy Bears. I love it. Alright, we're going to switch down to a different brush now. do a little bit more detail. I'm going to use off-white. So my first rule of painting anything is over contrast, under deliver. I'm over contrasting because I am going to bring the contrast down with the airbrush. So we're gonna have some interesting lighting effects here. So there'll be, thanks Rummy Bears, you're the man or the woman. Good for you. We're gonna have some interesting lighting challenges here. So this flame is going to be casting a light. It's not going to be super bright, I don't think, but we're going to have some reflections. And so this line down here, which is currently in shadow, we're going to do that with some light. But we're doing the global light, the front light first, and then we'll add that secondary light later on. Windrider's finished, nerdy mate. I'll pull it out. You can have a look in a sec. It's just sitting up there. Come on, mate. It's been finished for a week, pal. Here he is. Come on, nerdy. Get with it, mate. Yeah, Sergio's Patreon is actually one of the only ones I recommend. I feel like Craftworld's Patreon is crazy and awesome and not that helpful for painting the way most people are going to paint. Love those guys, but yeah, they have a pretty full-on style that comes across in their Patreon. Sergio, on the other hand, his approach I feel is very applicable for everything, and I love his Patreon. It's the only one I've kept up for the last however many years. I think I've been a Patreon subscriber for about 2 years with him. He shows how to use the airbrush, his method. He shows just a lot of good techniques, and the best thing about Sergio is he just has the mentality of painting for fun. Same as me. He enjoys what he does, he has a great time, so that's the mentality. Well, that's the right order to have things in. Because if you enjoy what you're doing, you're more likely to do it. And the way you get better is just by fucking doing it. So, if you only enjoy the result, then you're going to have a bad time. Rummy Bears, I have been painting miniatures since I was a little tacker in school. But I've only been painting display models for about 4.5 years. Prior to that, I was just doing a lot of Games Workshop models, War Machine models. So just again to reiterate, this is all sketching at the moment. We're gonna refine this further using some airbrushing, some more glazes, and then we'll go in and do some really polished highlights, proper painting style. Double fruity. That's okay, mate. Having fun. That's more important. I'm just going to try and do something I don't do a lot of, so I've got to try and find some foam shit. Not in you. What about? Excellent. I do this occasionally, it's just some foam. Just want to get a bit more texture happening in there. Oh, g'day Dave. Yeah, we're gonna do some purplies and shit. Yeah, a bit of sponging. Don't do it a lot. Because I'm gonna airbrush soon. We're blessed to have one of the top 10 painters in the world in the stream tonight, friends. Dave Cole, number 10. What's going on? So what we're doing with the airbrush here is homogenizing. Yeah, all the time, Tobes. All the fucking time, mate. If you watch Wind Rider, that went through about 30 fucking changes to things. I'm not very good at planning things and sticking to the plans. So this is a fairly dilute colour of the purple and yellow tones that I was working with for the rocks, and we're using this to homogenise those sketchy highlights and re-add some value. Yeah, fuck. Had no idea what I was doing with the nose. Still not sure where we landed actually. It's probably the one area of the model I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm happy with that, but it's okay. Nice. Now we'll add some shadows. I've often said, Tobes, that the model tells me what colours it wants to be painted because I'll start something and it'll just look way different to what it should or what I want it to look like, and so I have to make it up as we go along. G'day Kador Red, you champion. Alright, so we're going to use some contrast paint through the airbrush here. Should be good fun. Going to add some tones. see you Tuesday. You know what we playing? What are we playing yet? Surely it's Scythe week. But if we get 4 players, I'll bring Lost Ruins of Arnak. I'll try that. They probably sent them out to good painters and asked them to do a version and release them the same day. Did you get one, Colwell? Particularly liked Andy's. They've actually been doing some pretty smart marketing stuff the last few years, Gito. I remember when they released their contrast paints. I actually got Andy and a couple of guys from the community, not affiliated with Games Workshop, involved, which is clever, I think. Cool rocks. So the downside with painting with the airbrush like this, friends, is it can remove some of the contrast. So the next stage I'm going to be doing is blocking each of the shadows with some black lining, or in this instance it'll be purple lining. Just to make sure that each section is separate and distinct before we go back in and do some actual highlights. And then we'll start thinking about the colour of the swirly stuff. Der Strawman. This figure is going in there, mate. Batman. Vince is going okay, mate. The guy can paint. Also got to appeal to a wide audience, which he does. And Vince can paint a model probably in a day and a half. Richard probably spent the last 6 months working on that fucking Sigvald. He is. We got to meet him this year at CanCon. He came down, well, this year. Fuck, when was it? 2020. We had bushfires at the start of the year. He came down for that. He had a good time at Crystal Dragon. Participated in the AOS stuff. What a champion. Colwell did one of those too. Alright, so this next stage is going to probably be a little bit dull, because all I'm doing is using a dark purple to draw lines. Let us begin. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually do this side so you can see the difference this makes. He's a great dude, Vince. Really great dude. He had planned on coming out to Crystal Dragon and CanCon again this year. We all had to change our plans this year, didn't we? So I'm sure you can already see the difference what I've done makes to the airbrushing. Yeah, unlucky Dave. At least it's a short one. My experience of the lockdown that we had in Brisbane was that my day didn't change significantly. The only difference was when I went over to get my lunch, I had to wear a mask. Everything else was the same. Hey, Dave? Have you received any notification about your dudes, Echoes of Camelot? I think mine are coming next week. Again, I do not use oils and enamels at this stage. There's a possibility that I'll use some oils down the track. I bought a couple of them, but all acrylics all the time for me. No, I didn't get a notification. I actually got a call from DHL and they said, "G'day mate, your package from Spain is delayed." And I was like, "Sweet." Didn't even know I had a package from Spain. And but yeah, it looks as though it's going to be arriving next week. I'm not sure if you're in the first wave. I definitely am. Yeah, it's going to be good fun to paint those models. Heavy body acrylics, I don't. I know people who do. I think the point of them is you mix. You can. I don't know. I got no fucking idea. Colwell might know what the point of it is. Yeah, I bought every motherfucking one of those things. Get in. I'm not going to talk about my diorama plans again, but it's going to be legit. Alright, so there we go. That's the difference between the black lining and no black lining. So the airbrush does a great job smoothing all of this stuff and all of the rough highlights and all the shit I did that was naff. But when you go in and add the dark lines, you get that contrast back, and from here we'll start doing some proper highlighting. Yeah, I've got a drawing, mate. It's going to be legit. That's the best drawing I've done since my Temple of the Elements drawing. Cole, I don't know if you saw, but the league are doing another element, which completely fucks my elements diorama, right? So I'm gonna speak to the dude who bought the diorama, tell him I'm painting a fifth one, so that and I'm gonna work out a way to incorporate it into the model. Yeah, Mordred, Percival, and the Green Knight were my three favourites as well. You can use inks for a lot of things, Frog Jim. I tend to use them to add intensity, add saturation, colour, power to an area. If you're not on WandaVision yet, friends, get on it. It's fucking great. Last episode was awesome. I just want to talk about it, but I can't. I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't watched it, but it's fucking getting awesome. Yeah, you can use inks to actually dilute your colours instead of using water. That'll add some punch to your colours. Oh, Phoenix! Welcome to the table, friend. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the raid. WandaVision. WandaVision. It's been on Disney Plus. It's the Marvel show that talks about Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff, and the Vision. It's unreal. Like, it started in a real weird place. Yeah. I'm doing well, Phoenix. Thanks for the raid, mate. It started super weird, Dave. But the last couple of episodes has really pulled its shit together. Yeah, probably episode 3 was when I started to get a little bit more invested. But yeah, 4, 5 and 6 have been legit. Yeah. That's a good observation, Chuck. Yes, good job, mate. I look forward to seeing the pictures. Friends, if you're not following Phoenix, someone do a shout out for him. I don't know how to do that. But that guy's legit. Makes me look ordinary. Drakeas, excellent work. I may have to set up some sort of thing for that. Which, as I said, I'm not very good at Twitch. Just post your link in there, mate. Do it, Phoenix. Post the link, champ. Fans need more Phoenix. Probably. Yeah, definitely excited for Winter Soldier and the Falcon, March 19th. It'll probably be a bit more traditional Marvel fare. All right, let me see. I think you got to set it up. I think you got to set up some shout outs thing, which I definitely haven't done. Indeed, Phoenix is the man. Oh, Bo-Katan. Oh, fuck, I love Sharon Carter too. She's a legend. Okay, let's try it. I'll try typing in SA Phoenix Miniature Art. I'll just copy your thing. Copy. Paste. It didn't work. I definitely need to set some shit up. I'll set some shit up. Oh, Katie Sackhoff. The best. Go Starbuck. I'm not good at Twitch, mate. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. That can be my job for today. How to set up commands in Twitch. Just let my girlfriend know that instead of doing Valentine's Day stuff, we're going to do Twitch stuff. She'll love that. She'll think that's the best plan ever. No, the chat lag, I think it's at the best latency it can be at. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not ultra low latency. I think I've set it to low latency. Oh, thanks, Rumble. Have a good night, my friend. Sleep tight. Oh shit, there's a skull there. The problem with that skull being there is it's out of scale. So I'm going to have to snip that off. Stand by. Well, normally I would start with this guy and then do this, but I felt like I needed to understand this environment before I do this, because this is going to have a lot of non-metallic metal reflections that showcases the environment that he's in. Thanks, Gallo Fire. Have a good night, buddy. Sleep well. So yeah, we started with the stonework for that reason. For that reason. I'd never do such a thing. I'm excited for painting those. It's going to be mad. I reckon those ones will get through, friends. No, but they can drop your channel, mate. They'd be like, yeah, you're not allowed to do that. It's against Twitch terms of service. So see you later, fuckhead. Some words will get held by a mod, but it's usually only related to racism. I haven't seen any other words get censored out. Although I haven't seen anyone try and drop a C-bomb, so I've been trying very hard not to drop a C-bomb. Maybe they're also attempting to mod ageism. Who knows? Bizarre. Let's take a Oh no. Oh, I can still feel some in there. Thought I was out of Incotense wood for a second. Then I start crying. Yay! Should be enough. Skeletons. Skeletons. Archaeopteryx. Pachycephalosaurus. Talk dirty to me. Dave is the stipple master, and he does destroy a lot of brushes. I'm sure he can answer that question for you though. Stippling also adds that nice orange peel texture, Dave, which makes it look more like skin. It's another advantage. Rocks, 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 rocks. Everybody rocks. Love painting rocks. One of these days, mate, we're going to sit down and do some painting together, and you're going to show me how to do that shit. You'll get nothing in return. But you'll get to see me get better. I think that's a reward that everyone wants. You're a ledge, mate. Enjoy. I am going to do some coloured stuff. So here is probably what I'm going to do. Actually, I can do that. I need to add a new thing. It's going to be a image. Okay. Browse. We're going to try for this, friends. Maybe. Let's put that right there. I'm going to try that, maybe. If we can. I don't know if we can. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try, friendos. Yeah. So we'll have that light from behind reflecting in all the non-metallic metal and stuff. That's the plan. My good man. Of course. I concur. I did enjoy that film when I watched it. I think any computer game movie though is, irrespective of how good it is going to get absolutely panned, because it will never live up to the standards of the people who wanted to be good. And then of course you have Super Mario Brothers the film, which was just straight dog shit. So the two concerns I have with this model, friends, and being able to create the vision that I see in my brain, is this front part of the base is pretty ordinary. It looked okay when I was priming it, but it looks like shit at the moment. So I'm going to need to do some work there to make that look right. But the very tricky balancing act I've got here is between this warp gatey thing, which we need to be a light source, and so we need it to be a high value, but we then combine that with the challenge of having our model be the focal point. We very much want the guy to be the area that everyone looks at, and if this portal is significantly higher value, that will be a challenge. We shall see. Gotta give these fuckers a shake. I need to get a vortex mixer, I reckon. This one's called Electric Blue. Every time I think about picking it up, I'm like Electric Boogaloo. Here we go. Don't even think that's a good colour actually for what I'm trying to do. Where's my other fluorescent blue? Thought I had a fluorescent blue as well. Maybe I don't. No. Oh, is that it there? It is. Alright, let's do this. I'm still tossing up on that one actually, because I could put a thing in there, but I haven't decided. I'm not very good at painting flat pieces of stuff, so I may not. This is going to be an exercise in patience, friends, for us to build up the colour of real intensity. We need to do a metric fuck ton of thin glazes with some drying. Yes, the contrast paints are super cool for stuff like that. The more you practice, mate, the more talented you'll get. It's one of those cool things about life. Yes, buddy. Lit from behind. Yeah, Frog Gym, that's everyone's hope. Are you that friend, Dave? Is it you? I agree. Sure it is, Dave. Sure it is. Ah, thanks, Miss Half Damage. Thanks for subscribing. You're a legend. Thanks. I don't do a lot of streaming. I only started it about a month ago. Actually, it's a month to the day, I think. So we get to show. I'm going to show off the last month of work that I've done on stream later on. But yes, I'm just enjoying it at the moment. Oh, Berlusconi, g'day mate. Yeah, I'll do basic tones, then I'll do brush, then I'll do more airbrush, and then I'll just bounce back and forth between the two as I see fit, depending on what it needs. Sometimes I need some homogenization, sometimes I need some more colour. So we just mix it in, see how things go. Yeah, that I will be very truthful. The moment someone sent me that, I was like, it's a Zinch portal. It's a fucking Zinch portal. There's horrors coming through. It's fucking happening. Who posted that? I think that was Sharkwild might have posted that last night. I don't remember who did it specifically, but I dig it. Someone did it, and thank you to that person. No, it definitely wasn't Chum Dabs. Definitely was not Chum Dabs. Look, if I was going to do a backdrop and sit it inside the portal, I could do a cool Zinch backdrop with like fucking horrors bouncing through. That'd be mad. But no, I shan't be doing that. Yeah, Chum Dab should be banned. Someone find out where that guy is. Is he banned? I haven't seen him for about 3 streams, so maybe someone banned him. Maybe one of my mods banned him. Good work, mods. I actually know the guy in real life, Chum Dabs. Well, actually, I've met him a couple of times. He came to a painting class, not one of mine. It's one of the ones in Brisbane from like Gruber or something. He's a nice dude. I just like teasing him. Another fantastic advantage of streaming I'm learning is I can do cool things like having that picture up on my screen. In the past, I just would have had that on my phone, and I would have referred to it on my phone. Now I get to look at it in full Technicolor. How good. Ah, Darren. Where would I be without your snarky comments? Thank you for joining the stream, mate. Well, it is in this instance. hot, hot, hot! Come in, my man. Come in. It's been a while since I've done pink glow. Been a long while. So I'm looking forward to experimenting with it a bit. Love using fluoro colours though. Fuck. They just punch you in the face. So usually Frog Gym, I think I talked about it briefly earlier, but I would get, there's 5 I'd probably get. Snakebite Leather, Volupus Pink, Achillean Green, Nasdreg Yellow, and then Dealer's Choice for the last one. I like Gore-Grunter Fur. I've got Warp Lightning, which is a super cool green, Creed Camo. But yeah, probably Shyish Purple or something like that. Yeah, great colour, Volupus Pink. Fucking awesome. Ole, 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 feeling hot, hot, hot. Acid pink, pink, pink. Okay, now we're going to do something that's going to look fucking crazy, friends. It's going to look fucking crazy. But just go with me. I promise it's going to turn out okay. He says, hopefully. Mate, gotta do it, Rummy Bear. My dad always said, not here to fuck spiders. Get in there. Have a crack. Yeah, fuck, I didn't make the emote last night. I've got to make it. I'll try. I'll add that to the list. List of things I've got to make. There's a spider emote. What was the other thing? I've already forgotten. Something to do with subscriber points. Was it? G'day, Skinny Boots. It's not for a game, buddy. It's just option seller. It's just for a display model that I'm painting for funsies. So we will have a little dude sitting on top of this at some point soon. My dad's got heaps of funny sayings like that, and he says them unironically as well. One of my favourites is I'm flat out like a lizard drinking. Like that one. He also says I'm dry as a fire shovel. The first time he said that, I was like, Dad, what the fuck's a fire shovel? And he's like, it's what they use to shovel stuff. Fire, embers and shit. Fire guys use them. Firemen. So. Chimera Magenta, friends. Glorious colour. We're going to try and do some great... Oh no, that's blue. I don't want blue. Why you come blue? Why you gotta be like that? Skinny boots. Confidence comes with practice. Confidence comes with practice. Everyone can paint like this. Just need to spend the time. I don't know, whatever that is. Haven't done anything special to it. Yeah. I don't know what the needle size is specifically. Just check that brand on the Iwata website, HBPB+. That'll tell you what needle size it is. Because I don't actually know off the top of my head. It's smallish. I don't think it's a 0.1. I don't think. Oh, I could be wrong. Might be. So very importantly, when you're doing OSL like we're doing here, that this source of the light is brighter value than the reflected light. So this light here is not as intense as this light here. I sure did Skinny Boots, although I don't know that it was last year, it was 2 years ago maybe. I don't think I did one last year. We had this little thing called COVID. So we want to make sure that these are darker, which is why we used a little bit of this Chimera magenta mixed in with my fluorescent, so that we have a darker value. I was there. I didn't host it. I was participating in the class. But yes. Good call, mate. You've made a good decision, Xtab. Oh, thanks, Mrs. Half Damage. What a champion. So good. Well done. How good's the denizens going, friends? That's what people in the chat call themselves, by the way, the denizens. You're amazing. Thank you. Oh, awesome skinny boots. Yeah, it's a good fit, denizens. Wow, that's awesome. Can't believe. Freezy, see that, mate? You gift one sub. His half damage just goes and gives 5. Oh, amazing! No, I appreciate everyone having such a good time and participating and gifting subs and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. It's awesome. Hopefully we're all learning. Because I am. That's true. Support me by looking after my kids, mate. Alright, we're back to some boring stuff now, friends, because I'm going to have to do some dark lines to separate all of this stuff. Alright, just going to hairdry for a bit more. No one's going to look at the back. Yeah, these are great. Really great stuff. This dude's going to be standing here, by the way, in front of it. He's going to have some reflected pink light from behind him. It's going to be legit. Sort of freezy, sort of. So usually I have people ask me about commissions, and my response is, I do commissions, but I only do models that I want to do and that I like. This particular dude, he's actually one of the dudes from on here. His name's Flick. He asked me to paint a model on stream that he would buy. He didn't really care what model I'd painted. He didn't really care how. He just wanted it to have skin tones, non-metallic metal, so he could look at the way I do those. So this is going to, assuming he's willing to pay my price, we didn't even talk about a price, he's going to purchase this after I finish it. Yeah, he doesn't know how bad I am at non-metallic metal, mate. Someone should tell him. You know, Flick's a great dude. He's really helped me setting up my stream and just chatting about how to do stuff, and being a really nice guy. So the fact that I get to choose my model and choose my my colour scheme, that's not really a commission. That's just me painting. So it doesn't feel like a commission. It feels like me doing what I want to do. Just have fun, enjoy painting. Yeah, get Gertie to message him. Hey mate, I'll tell you right now, if he doesn't buy it, I'll post it on my Instagram and it'll sell in about 3 minutes. Because I can already feel this one. I can already feel it's going to be fucking awesome. So just like broadly speaking, that the reason I did all the stonework before I did this is, and if I'll just bring it up close to the camera, you can see here some of this texturing that's still underneath, and so you get that really nice appearance of glowing light when you have the texturing and the contrast already built up underneath. So I'm sure other people do it in a different way, but my approach for doing non-metallic metal is, not non-metallic metal, OSL, is always to create the basic tones underneath and then do the lighting over the top. Because that is in fact how it works in life. So we're going to actually do a bit of Colwell now. I'm going to do some stippling because this line here is too harsh. So we just want to soften that out a bit. Normally I'd do that with an airbrush, but because we're using fluorescent colours, they're actually too translucent to work quite as well at harmonising tones like I would normally like to use. Yeah, I can understand that perspective, Sharkwald. But getting OSL to look right is an exercise in the values. If you're not getting the values right, then your OSL is never going to look right. And yeah, if you have to do that at the start, cool. I like to do it afterwards. Yeah, Apothecary White, I haven't actually used that one. It's Sort of grey colour, isn't it? Might have to pick some up. Cool. So I think we're just on 2 hours now. I think we're making some good headway for this piece. G'day, the Ronin. Oh, hang on. 30987. G'day, mate. Hi from North America. Hi from Brisbane, Australia. This is a morning stream purely for my good friends in America. And also because this is normally when I do some painting, so it's just a normal stream. $30987. Great. Excellent. Is that your postcode? Don't answer that. Excellent with half damage. Yeah, so I'll probably be doing a stream every weekend, either on a Saturday or a Sunday morning, and if you're really lucky you might get both, depending on what I'm doing on a weekend, in addition to my normal evening streams, which will continue to occur whenever I feel like painting. And just to explain my reasons for streaming, said it before, quite happy to acknowledge this is purely selfish. I'm doing this so that I can explain my approach and why I'm doing things to people, because I've found when you explain things you solidify your approach a little bit better in your own mind. So this is all about me trying to teach and ergo trying to improve. So selfish motivations, which is good, means I'll keep doing it. And it isn't too difficult for me to paint on stream. It's no different to painting normally for me. Only difference is I get to chat with you lovely people and chum dabs. Yes. Other people get some value out of it as well, I hope. I've done critiques on people's paint jobs and all sorts of gear. Haha, thanks mate. Thanks Tongue Hat. 77. If that's a year of birth, mate, congratulations on still loving your hobby at the age of 44, maybe 45, depending on when your birthday is. I've heard it's quite a lucrative career approach, going for them points. So you can see what I'm doing here is... Thanks, Dave. I don't even remember how it goes. I don't think anyone would redeem it today. How have you been watching for this long, you peanut? Seriously. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? There you go, champ. Well done. Well redeemed. That'd just be like a normal Tuesday night for you, mate. The amount of times I sing that dumb shit. At Tuesday night games, which I play with Darren, who is Snake Eyes, he's constantly fucking haranguing me for my singing. I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? But if seriously, if anyone comes up with some good ideas for what I could use my channel point things for, No, I don't actually know where it's from. One of my cool denizens posted it in last night's stream, and said this is what I should do. So I am doing it. I don't actually know where it's from specifically. So one thing I do often do and recommend everyone does is take a model outside of your light and look at it under normal light. Because you often see whether you've got enough contrast. A model can look significantly brighter and have more stuff happening under this sort of light than it does out in natural light, which is sometimes where it will be viewed. Sure, that's an unbiased opinion too. So at the moment, we're looking okay. I like to, at this point, just establish whether the OSL is looking effective. What's the consensus in the group, in the chat? Is that looking solid to you, friends, or no good? So it looks good when we're looking at this angle. When you go like that, it's still okay, but we may need to, obviously this part of the base is not going on. No, it's not going to be looked at from the back, like especially if I do a picture that I fill that in there. So I'm not gonna do it. I'll probably do a little bit more on the edges there. Yeah, so it doesn't look quite as refined in this angle. So I'll just need to work on that a little bit, particularly under here as well. Need to do that there. That side looks a little bit better. But yeah, so this angle we're looking good at the moment in terms of the OSL reading correctly. You know, that looks like it's reading okay. But when you turn to the side, you can see it's maybe not quite as effective. So we'll keep working on that. Thanks Droopy, have a great night's sleep, champion. I'll see you next stream you're able to get on. Thanks again for joining us. So even though I went and said you don't have your reflective light source areas be as bright as the source, I'm going to do a little tweaking on a few things because I think that'll make it look good, and thus it is more important than being correct. No, this is a Games Workshop scenery piece called a Baleful Realm Gate, I believe, that I've repurposed as a base for a 75mm model from Black Sun Miniatures called Madax. Excellent. It's a cracking realm gate from a cracking game. Hero Quest. Alright, so we're coming up on the end of the stream, friends. It's 11:30 odd. Nearly time for me to meander over and grab some lunch. That's a good call, Xtab. Not enough blue in the OSL. Good call. That is something we shall have to remedy. Shouldn't be too difficult. Have the blue on my palette ready to go. Alright, well I had planned on showing off all the models I've painted on stream today, but I don't think I'll do that. I'll do that in my next stream. But yes, my next stream will be tomorrow night, probably. And that will coincide with my first day of streaming from a month ago. I sure did, Xtab. I did. I'll show you. I've got it just sitting up there. These dots are just supposed to represent some magical overflow of colour. When they dry, they'll look just like the light is bouncing around magically, I hope. Here's the Windrider X-Tab. There he is. He was finished on stream. All that stuff's uploaded to my YouTube so you can watch him from start to finish. See all the mistakes I made. Many of them. Many of them indeed. And also did this chick on stream. So you can see her. You want to go to my YouTube channel. The whole paint job for her too. Alright. I think we might call it something of a day there. Do some more tweaking. Thank you. Which circles are you talking about? You mean the little dots I just did? Paul, no. In fact, I have not kept any of my models recently. They're all gone. I don't have a single piece I painted left in my collection. Oh yeah, you're right, gotcha. Yep, concur. Yep, don't have a single piece left that I painted. I technically still do have some because I haven't sent them yet. I'm keeping them for a competition. But yeah, it is. It's not about the models for me, Paul. Maybe one day I'll paint something that I'm like, you know what, this is the coolest thing I've ever painted and I'm going to keep it. But it is not this day. This day, we fight. Windrider's already sold, mate. Sold about 10 minutes after I posted pictures of it. However, if you are coming to Queensland Model Hobby Expo this year, you'll be able to see it because it will be there. I am keeping it until then. The owner has graciously allowed me to keep a few models until then. Thanks Drippins, you're the man, or the woman, whatever you are. Thanks for joining the stream, you legend. See you Sharkwild. Thanks for all of the fun chats tonight, buddy. Yeah, we're about to finish up anyway, friends, so now's a good time to drop off right before we do a raid. I'm gonna raid some motherfuckers. That wasn't my best stroke there, friends. Alright, we're calling it a day. This is looking pretty good for 2.5 hours work, nearly 3. Next, I think we'll probably keep going with this next stream. I think I want to do this bottom part of the base a little bit more, and I need to further refine this section up the top, but I'm probably just going to darken that up so that it's less obvious. And then we may start this guy depending on how far we get in the stream. But yeah, very good. So that'll be tomorrow night for me, friends. So about 7 hours from now, tomorrow. So 31 hours from now, probably. Outstanding. Thanks, friends. Thanks for joining. You're all champions. Let's go find ourselves a channel to raid, hey? Who can we raid today? Wapelius is on. We've already raided him. What's Jenny Joy O painting? Oh, cool. Looks like Nico Galaxy stuff. Alright, let's raid Jenny Joy O. She looks cool. Thanks, friends. You're all amazing. Let us commence raid. Commence raid! Raid! Yes, thanks, friends. Have a great Valentine's with your loved ones or by yourself.